Hello, my name is Aida, and today you'll learn how to integrate a Jira Cloud with another Jira Cloud instance using Exalate. In this video, we'll be using the new Exalate interface, which, while still maintaining the decentralized aspects of the application, it allows a centralized view of all features. So once we have created a workspace, we'll be able to add connections to it. So we'll start off by creating a new connection by clicking Add Connections, and it will see the Create New Connection option. So first of all, we'll need to add both of our systems into our environment. So we'll start off by adding our Jira Cloud instance. We'll add a name to it, which I'll call Jira Cloud prod. We'll add the URL, and it will ask us to authorize access to our Jira Cloud system. So when pressing connect with Jira Cloud, it'll redirect us to an Atlassian view, which is requesting access. So we need to choose our system and grant access. When we click accept, it should be authorized within a couple of seconds. And we can continue with our second system, which in my case would be the Jira Cloud development instance. So we add a name, we add the URL, and we authorize access. Once we're done adding both of our systems, we can continue with the connection creation process. We add a name to our connection and the description in case you need one. We review the details, and then we click connection, create a connection. Before creating the connection, it will ask us to select the project in which we want our issues to be created in. In this case, I'll select the production project and the development project. This is just so Exalate can create the default synchronization settings. Later on, you can even set up multiple project mapping in case you need to. So we'll build and continue. So before making any changes into our connection, I'll go ahead and test synchronizing a Jira Cloud issue without modifying anything, just with the default synchronization settings. So let's before we do that, let's take a look at our connection. And we can see that it's a centralized view of both sides of our connection. We can change the direction of the connection by clicking the two arrows that are seen right beside the name of the connection on the top left of the screen. So let's go ahead and test by creating an issue on the production side. Let's name it test production to development. Let's add a short description. Let's create it, and let's also test by adding a comment to it. Comment to dev. Let's add our comment. Let's copy the issue key, and let's head over to the new Exalate app. On the top right of the screen, you'll be able to see the item sync monitor. So there's two ways to synchronize issues, the manual way and the automatic way. I'll go over the automatic way to do it later on in the video, but to manually sync an item, you'll need to go into the item sync monitor, place the issue key, search for it, and there's two options. You can either create a replicated copy on the remote system by clicking sync now, or you can connect it to an existing item on the remote system. So what we want to do is create a copy of it. So we'll click we'll click sync now. So this should take a couple of seconds. And once it's created, we should see the remote link on the right side. So let's wait for it to be processed. And now that it's processed, let's click the remote link. As you can see, it was created with the summary, the description, the comments, and bidirectional sync should be in place. So let's try to send a comment back to the production project. Test to prod. Let's save. And once the issue is under sync, updates should follow within a couple of seconds. If we go back to our main issue, we can see that the comment has arrived already. So let's go ahead and let's make a couple of changes into our connection. Let's head over back to the configuration and let's create a new version. So what we'll do is let's start by maybe adding a status script so we can synchronize statuses bidirectionally. And since we handle statuses, different statuses on each side of the connection, as you can see on the production project, I had the backlog status, the selected for development, in progress, and done. And on the development side, I have open, in progress, testing, and closed. So I need to create a status mapping. And what I'll do is I'll go ahead and edit the connection. And I'll ask our AI assist for help with this portion of the script. So I'll say that I want to sync the following remote Jira Cloud statuses. And our remote statuses are going to be backlog, selected for development, in progress, and done. And I want to map them to my local statuses, open, in progress, and closed. So let's send this prompt to Aida. It's currently reviewing our request, and it should shortly give us a script that we can decide to either add to our incoming script or void adding. Okay, as you can see, it just within a few seconds, it generated a script which contains a status mapping. So it contains the remote values and it's being mapped to our local values. So this looks like it's correct. So I'll insert our changes. And alongside this status mapping, I also want to, let's say that I also want to add a custom field. So let's take a look at our issue. And let's say that I want to send the remote issue link into this custom field. So let's grab the external ticket ID name. And let's say that I want to add my custom fields, the name of my custom field. I'll assign the value, and the value will be the replica.key, which is being sent on this side. So let's continue and save our script. And we can publish this version. So let's head over to the other side of the connection, and let's add the status mapping portion on that side as well. So let's create a new version. Let's edit. And on the incoming script, let's add the other portion of the script, which is the same. It's going to be the same status mapping, but we need to change the way that we add the values over here. So let's save the script. And right before we go ahead and keep testing, let's add a trigger because we don't want to be manually syncing items over to the remote side. So we want to do it automatically. So let's add a trigger. And let's say that we want to sync issues when the project is equals dev, which is our project. As you can see, the project equals dev, and the labels equals sync. So let's activate our trigger and save it. Once we've added the trigger, we can publish this version. As for the outgoing script for the status, we can see that it's already included on the default sync settings, so we don't need to actually modify anything to send the status. So we can go ahead and publish our version. And let's test now sending an issue from dev to prod. So let's say testing new improvement to prod. Let's add a short description. Let's create our issue. Let's change the status to testing, which should be mapped to in progress on the remote side. Let's add a comment. Before we actually do this, let's actually add the label so it automatically syncs with the remote system. Since it's created on the dev project and the labels equal sync, it should be automatically sent. Let's add a comment. Prod. Let's even add an image to it. So let's save it. Let's grab the issue key. Let's head over to the item sync monitor. And let's search for our issue. We can see that it was already picked up by our trigger and it's currently under sync. So it should be created in just a couple of seconds. And we can see that it was just created. So let's take a look at our issue from the production project. We can see that it was created with the correct title, description, even the comment with the inline image, the correct status, and we can test bidirectional sync of statuses. So let's change it to done, which should be closed on the remote side. Let's update the comment to done. So let's send our update. Let's take a look at our remote issue. We can see that it was already updated to closed, and we can see the update from the custom field as well, with a comment mentioning the status change. So this will conclude the video. If this helped you, please subscribe for more integration tutorials. Thank you for watching.